Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing some torsion springs in the rear of this sled. Last year I replaced them and I put some cheap springs in from Royal Distributing thinking I would help it by upgrading new springs, and I don't think they have the proper torsional rate and stuff. The sled barely withstands its own, like, full tank of gas, and the thing, it's sitting down and it's not good. I know it's not the shocks because I got them rebuilt and retested it once because I thought it was them again, and it did determine it was leaking, but or the shock was leaking and it got redone, but it's still sitting kind of low. It doesn't rebound properly, so I'm putting in these other springs, and I went one stiffer because I am a fairly aggressive rider. Skidoo offers a low boy spring and a high boy spring. Those high boy ones are the 271 and 272 springs or something. I'm not sure. Check Dutalk's forums. If you just Google I think you just Google Skidoo R Motion rear suspension torsion springs. High gear suspension has a really good write-up on there. So I went with the middle springs here. They're supposed to be out of a Summit. They're just designed a little bit stiffer. They're a little bit shorter apparently, but doesn't matter. These ones are the 503, 191, 287, and 289 springs, I believe. I'll do that right now just so you know the part numbers. Yeah, these are 503, 191, 289. That's your right hand and your left hand spring. My camera, you won't be able to focus on it on there. It's so small. So yeah, anyways, we'll get started on putting these springs in and what you need to do. So first off, come to your front bogey wheel here, and your torsion spring comes down here like this and right into there. So you just got to pop your cap off. Sorry, mine's in behind the bar here. It's not the most ideal, but it works great for this situation, and I don't have a lift in my garage. So start by prying those caps off, and then you're going to take your 10mm wrench and put it on the back. 10mm socket here. And remove each bogey wheel on each side. There will be, I don't know if there's a nut on the back, I'll let you know right now. Alright, so once you have your bogey off, you take an Allen key, I'm not sure what size this is, and you're going to need a 13mm wrench. You go in behind here and you put your Allen key in here and take that 13mm and start undoing this, and it'll relieve your torsion spring pressure. I usually just undo them like this, and the torsion spring will come over here, and it'll eventually drop onto where your bogey wheel goes. So once you have this loosened off, it'll drop onto here, and then relieve some of the tension. Then you pull it out and let it come. There. Now your pressure is relieved from the suspension there. Do that on both sides and these come off. With that all removed, if you have the quick adjust like this, you're going to have to remove the front two bolts in here. So you got to get your Allen key again and put it in there and take out these. They're 10mm. Remove both of those. And this will come down here like this. do that on both sides, and then you can get to your main bolt here for removing the pressure off of your suspension. Alright, so now you have to remove this. What you need is a tool for behind there. I made one out of a grinder, the removal plate for a grinder for that flat piece. I had it in my pocket and I unfortunately left it in my toolbox at work because my toolbox is still at work for the summer. So I have this pair of vice grips that I made extra thin, and it's a 22 millimeter. You got to get in behind here, and it's got to be thin so you can get in there. It's a very, very thin thing. So the only reason I'm using these vice grips that I ground them down is because Skidoo sells the tool, but I'm not near a Skidoo dealership and I want to get this job done and I ain't waiting. So this was the easiest method, didn't take very long. Then take your impact is the easiest method once you have that on there. A 5/8 for some reason seems to fit really good. I know these are metric, but and then you can take that off. You'll have a washer, your bolt, and then the rest will stay on the back here. Do that to both sides, but make sure you put a floor jack underneath, because with this quick adjust stuff, it can only go down so far without having to remove that, and I don't want to remove all that to save you time. So you just lower it down slowly with the jack until this tenses up. You don't really need them to come down very far. You just need the bogies to clear right here so you can slide them off and get to those torsion springs. Alright, so once you've dropped your suspension down, take a pair of circlip snap ring pliers, get on here. And you know the fun of these. Pop that off. Sometimes you have to loosen these, sometimes you don't. You can mark them for best results to put it back on the right way. Otherwise there will be a spline out on this side that you line this up with. Pull this off. Then you'll have a washer. And there will be a spring. And you can pull bogie off. Another washer. And then give your spring a twist. And there you go, your spring's off. As you can see, I have these torsion spring spacers in here. I got mine from Royal Distributing. They work excellent. I suggest you put those in if you have a snowmobile like this, because they really do help. The other ones are just a little plastic bushing and they'll eventually wear into the metal here. These are bigger and they're way better. Makes your suspension move a lot more freely. Alright, so now we'll take our new springs and put them in. You just take it, simply slide it over until you hit your piston here or your adjuster. Get it on there, and then just leave them straight up and down for now. And then we'll go do the other side first, and then we'll put it back together. Alright guys, so that's how to do torsion springs on an R-Motion suspension. This is a 1200, but it should be the same for all the R-Motion. I'm not going to show on how to put it back together because I feel it's a pretty straightforward process, and you just reverse what I did there. Once you have your torsion springs in, you can put the bolt back in your jack it up with the jack that I told you to put under. Put your bolt back in there, and then just your bogey wheel and your suspension and stuff, and it's no problem. So if you have any questions though, please do comment, and I'll be very prompt on replying unless I'm out on this thing snowmobiling. I won't be right on you, but otherwise I will be right on you and try and get to your comments quick. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to have any more tutorials for a Skidoo, for 1200s especially, check out my other videos. I'll be making a playlist here of all the Skidoo stuff, and a playlist off to the side I'll label it Skidoo stuff, and you'll be sure to get help on whatever you want to do with your snowmobile that I've done. I'm sure my videos will help you. So if you like this and this helped you, please give me a rate and a subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.